Welcome everyone. We are here today to kick off a roundtable discussion about ICT solutions for youth, and we have some very impressive Tanzanian innovators with us today. I'm Ninsiima, Manager of Communications and Partnerships at Tanzania, and your facilitator for today. Today's webinar has been made possible thanks to the collaboration of Tanzania and Youth Vision Sound of Tanzania. I would like to introduce to you our panel today. We have with us Oscar Kimaro from Restless Development Tanzania. We have Finland Bernard from One Action Tanzania. We have Jumanne Mtambalike from Buni Hub for COSTECH. We have Eliguard Dawson, our Country Program Manager for Tanzania. And joining us later will be Joseph Buyaga, President and Founder for Youth Vision Sound of Tanzania. Maxelence Melo, founder of Jamii Forum, Maria Sarungi, founder Change Tanzania, and Dixon Kamala, National Vice Chairperson, Tanzania Youth Vision Association. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, panelists. Let's get started with a roundtable. I have a question for each of you. So we'll start with Oscar from Restless Development. Oscar, what opportunities can ICT present for the employment and business prospects of youth? What are some of the specific challenges young people face in accessing ICT services and solutions?
Thank you so much, Diana, and actually the fellow and the colleagues who are actually among the panelists, but also thank you to everyone who is joining us and following us as we are discussing this interesting and up-to-date topic around ICT for D and young people, and of course in Tanzania. My name is Oscar Kimaro, and I work for Restless Development Tanzania. This is the youth-led development agency, which is currently empowering young people to be at the forefront of change and development in many perspectives, including moving along with issues around technology, and more specifically information communication technology, which is really uptaking most of the things that we are thinking around when we are looking at placing young people at the forefront of change and development. Maybe if I can just quickly go to the question that you have asked me, and it relates to the opportunities, and of course see the way that ICT can also act as a platform or kind of a place where we can also make money and those kind of things. So just to, I'm not that much a tech person, but I can just quickly give a simple definition of the ICT, information communication technology, which refers to the diverse set of technological tools and resources used to communicate and create and disseminate, and of course store and manage information. So it's a question of now technology, tools. We're talking about all those kind of gadgets and applications, resources, and communication, and also looking at around the way that you can also store, you can also create, you can also disseminate information in a very fast and instant way. So coming to the question, and I'll answer this question on two perspectives, as the question itself says, are issues around the opportunities and the challenges. So for me, ICT actually provides a platform for young people to innovate new ways of doing things. So it's a total kind of overhaul system of the way we are functioning, the way we are performing our responsibilities, our day-to-day duties and actually activities. So it gives a kind of new system. For instance, if you can take an example of something like early 80s or something 1970s, where you were supposed to communicate or contact your colleagues from actually in different places. What we were supposed to do is first to make sure that you know their addresses, that if you're lucky to be in that position. But the second thing is for you to know the location of that person that you want to communicate with. And one of the best things that you can do in order for you to make sure that you also reach that person on time is for you to go into a bus station, take a bus with your letter, take it there and ensure that it has been received by that person. Later, there were issues of post offices and all those kind of things. But you can see in the early 90s and of course in 2000s, there's been lots of innovations and actually discoveries around people communication, around the way that people create information and disseminate and share information instantly. So for me, ICT actually poses an opportunity for innovation, for young people to see the ways that they can also work on things. And I can give an example on this. In Tanzania, we have a kind of ICT platform or ICT innovation that we have recently observed, which is called myelimu.com. And this is actually something that has been innovated, has been discovered by a young Tanzanian who was born in 1994. And you can see now maybe he is on the 20s or something, 21 years old. But he discovered this myelimu.com, which actually enables students to discuss with each other from their different distant schools online. So it kind of provided some lessons, some opportunities for young people to access the notes that they would normally access via their teachers in the classrooms or in the lecture rooms or something like so. But this innovation, this application, this website provides that opportunity for distance learning for young people in Tanzania and actually for young students who are in Tanzania. And in doing so, you'll also find it has not only simplified the process for people or for students to access information related to education and subjects that they're taking in the schools, but it has also created a business to this young person who is now making some money out of it. It's a project that also pays him really some good money. So I can say, just to start, that's one of the great opportunity that I see ICT bringing to young people here in Tanzania. But of course, as I mentioned, there are lots of challenges as well accompanying ICT and businesses and young people in Tanzania. And one of them is the medium of this, the medium that ICT normally use. We all know, of course, very few Tanzanians have the ability and to fluently speak and learn and actually read and learn through English language. But most of the ICT infrastructures, ICT tools, resources, and even the accessibility are more of in English language, which is kind of a barrier to many young people in Tanzania. Also, in order for you to be competent, a little bit competent, not that much 100%, but you need to have a little knowledge of around programming so that you are also able to play around these ICT issues. So ICT programming skills are really a challenge to young people, as they normally being taught in the universities, and most of the young people do not have access to education to that level. And even if you have that access, you might find it's a course-related subject. ICT is a course-related subject. It's not something that everyone can learn and see the way that they can use that. And of course, that the other challenge of young people not being able to learn it from, how to engage with it from the early ages is also a really big challenge to the young people in Tanzania. But the second thing that I'll speak, and then I'll end there for more discussions, is around the infrastructure itself. Of course, we've seen the language as one of the key challenges, but we can really see, even from the statistics, that ICT is mainly growing in urban areas. So it creates a kind of digital divide among the users who are based in towns, based in rural areas. We know majority of Tanzanians are based in the rural communities and have little access to issues, some kind of issues like electricity, and of course, the cost itself to have some gadgets which will help them play around and innovate and come up with new ways that they can also benefit themselves. So that's my contribution in terms of responding to my first question.
Thank you so much, Oscar. You've certainly tackled the question quite well. Speaking about innovation, this next one goes to Jumanne. In what ways are youth taking advantage of innovation and learning spaces or hubs for employment and business? How do innovation and learning spaces offer employment and business opportunities for young people, and how can young people access those opportunities?
Okay, thanks for the good question. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jumanne from Buni Hub. I'm the community manager of Buni Hub. I've been working with the hub for the past 4 years. Buni is focusing on innovation and technology entrepreneurship among Tanzanian youth. So going straight to the question, on what ways youth are taking advantage of innovation and learning spaces, hubs for employment and businesses. So a lot of activities are happening at Buni, and we have a vibrant community of more than 3,000 youths who are using the space. And through our programs, a lot of activities are happening. One of our programs is a mentoring program, which helps youths to move the idea from the idea level to early stage ICT businesses. And through this program, youths are using this opportunity to come up with cool, innovative ideas, which eventually turn into businesses. For example, we have a product, soccer, which has been done by youths from the hub who are still students from the University of Dar es Salaam. We have another project called Agri-Info, which disseminates information about land issues in Tanzania. We have a product like which
Sorry, Jumanne, you're breaking off. No.
To keep records of their transaction. So there's a lot of projects of sales are using the community.
Hello, Jumanne, I think we lost you in between. Could you rephrase?
Okay, so I was speaking about the projects that have been done by youths from Buni Hub that are related to technology and ICT as a tool for development. So in terms of how youths are being taking advantage of the innovation in ICT sector, so most of them are using ICT to tackle problems that are facing the community and turning those problems into actual opportunities. And that is what has been happening. For most of the projects that are coming from Buni, they're so much focusing on solving problems that are around us. Problems like land issues, dissemination of information about health and other important issues, information on education, information about entertainment. For example, we have startups that are based on providing information about entertainment. For example, startup like soccer, and we have, hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Jumanne. Go ahead.
Yeah, and right now, and so how do innovation spaces offer employment and business opportunity? So actually, what we do as Buni, as an innovation space here in Dar es Salaam, we offer a platform We offer a platform for them to network. We offer a platform for them to learn. We offer a platform for them to get exposed. We offer a platform for them to be mentored. So at Buni, they can meet with people, they can meet with their potential co-founders, they can meet with their partners. We have trainings, meetup sessions, boot camps that helps to build their capacity and skills. But again, we provide opportunity for them to access to some seed fund from the funding agency, for example, Tanzania ICT Innovation Fund. But again, we build their capacity to be able to pitch the ideas in front of potential investors and people who want to support the ideas. So that is what they get by working with Buni, and that is what we provide to them. In terms of how can they access this opportunity, so we have different kind of channels to reach out to them. One of our strongest channels is social media. We have very active social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and other platforms. But again, we have our website and blog where we cover all the stories and we share all the opportunities with them. But again, we have community meetup session whereby they can come and ask questions and get exposed on what happened at Buni. But again, Buni hosts events like Startup Grind and social and entrepreneurship forums that allows them to get information and to be exposed on what should they do or what should be of importance to them as early stage entrepreneurs and those who are looking to do something in the ICT sector in Tanzania. So that is what Buni is offering to them, and that is a way for them to access those opportunities. And getting back to the first question, which was on what ways they can take advantage of this, we encourage them to apply and be members of the community. So we have different kinds of services, but those services, you can only access them if you become a member. And so far, the membership fee is free for everyone to access. All you need to have is an idea, a project, or early stage business, and you get registered in one of the membership levels, and you can be able to access the space. So that's Buni, that's what we do, and that's how you can access our services.
Thank you so much, Jumanne. That's certainly impressive. 3,000 youth using the space. I didn't expect that. Congratulations and job well done. Our next question goes to Finland. Well, Finland, Tanzania has a growing tech scene. We all know that. How can the technology industry be brought together in a community that is inclusive of innovations and aspirations of young people so that youth can help co-create the future of technology in Tanzania? How can we empower and inspire youth to actively participate in technology innovations?
Oh. Yeah, thank you, Diana, for inviting me in this conference. But after all, I'm glad to be here with all participants. My name is Finland Bernard, a Tanzanian but currently living in Uganda, a founder and director.
Sorry, I think Finland, you're breaking off.
Oh, sorry. I was saying I'm a young Tanzania but currently living in Uganda, a founder and director of One Action Tanzania, the youth-led initiative and country initiative for peace. But
hello? Finland, can you hear me? Hello? Well, I think we might have lost Finland over there. So he was saying that he's a young Tanzanian and the founder of One Action Tanzania. Are you back? Hello, Finland?
Yes, Anna.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying we don't need everyone to be an expert in ICT part of it. We have
Hello?
like doing a lot. Yes. Diana, are you hearing me?
Yeah, now we are hearing you, but you had broken off for something like a minute.
Oh, sorry, the technology is still challenges in Africa.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. I think as the youth, particularly in Tanzania, we don't need to be expertise in ICT, but we need to look ICT as an opportunity where we can use it to benefit ourselves. For instance, I have been doing a lot in my communities, and I've been engaging in many programs. Mr. Kimaro will be a witness because we are doing a lot with him, especially in shaping this world. We need to look on ICT as an opportunity. For instance, yesterday, since the 22nd, we had a meeting on rural financing and gender equality. We met young Ugandan ladies under 20s which will help the community to interact, just like we are doing agriculture, but we need to make it.
Sorry, I think Finland, you're breaking off again. Hello?
Yes, am I back again?
Yeah, you're back again.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so what I think we need to use the media we have. Let Buni do their part of innovating, but we don't have the capacity to innovate, let's use what has been already innovated to benefit ourselves. Just like, for instance, currently I'm in a process to come up with a media campaign. I will not be part of the ICT team, but because I have an idea of coming up with something which need ICT, it means I will improve.
Hello, Finland? I think we've lost him again. Hello? Well, I think we've lost Finland. He'll be joining us shortly after. So let's continue to Eliguard with a question on what role can the government and private sectors play in ensuring youth have access to ICT, education opportunities, and skills development?
Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Eliguard. I'm the country director for Tanzania. Thank you very much for this webinar, and it's a conversation, and I'm sure that something will come up. This is a policy to move the ICT agenda forward. So I believe that really to support the ICT industry and in a big picture, the digital literacy in Tanzania. And I think the foremost thing that the government should do be like really to embrace this, hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. So what I'm saying, the first thing that the government should do would be to really embrace the technology. If you visit many government offices, you'll find that we are doing communications and say with senior people, but they are not using like the office official. It's the fact that they have, maybe I think the government should start first of all with, start pushing the staff and the employees to use the technology, and that's the point of view. The other thing is to support now the staff with infrastructure and equipment that will enable them to facilitate work, their work. On the policy side, I think a lot has to be done. For example, if you take the youth policy, the current youth policy, there's a bit on ICT, but it does not really talk of ICT positively, but rather that statement is there to say that ICT is challenging because youth are not using it appropriately, or they're using it inappropriately for inappropriate reasons. But for a country that is it's an economic I think it will have been a statement that really emphasized the importance of ICT and how the youth should be for economic and social welfare. On the same policy level, I think the government should keep on supporting what we've seen working. If you're talking about innovation in Tanzania, you'll definitely hear about Buni Hub, Tanzania ICT project. The government should think of ways to really support it and not really wait for donor community to initiate such kind of projects, because we know for sure that they are going to work. And Tanzania is abroad. It's not only, Tanzania is not Dar es Salaam. Dar es Salaam is just such as innovation. What Buni is doing could be extended to other parts of the country, Mwanza, Iringa, Dodoma, where we know that there are many university graduates. Education policy, I know that most recently there's curriculum, and I think this is also very important. But one of the biggest challenges is that teachers themselves who are there to support the students are not well equipped with ICT and digital literacy. So I think it will be very good where the government should start to invite teachers to use ICT in a project like the one that we're currently doing with Veta. Projects way that teachers will be good users of technology, and then they can pass that to students through learning and teaching. The other thing that the government could do should be more of supporting locals. Mostly good job to support local innovators. And I think maybe they should be forward and have a strong policy, certain percentage of procurement from local ICT companies and local innovators, in a way that most of the software that is used within the, at least certain X% of which should be put here that should be procured locally. And this will really keep the young nation thinking about ways to innovate more projects that could be used across the country. On the private sector part, I think the private sector is doing really well. The way the mobile industry has transformed the use of ICT in country, and how many people are currently using data, for example, in more of learning. We've also seen how we do our transactions, and I think that's a really good thing. To support more of this, we should think that the private sector companies, especially the big mobile, a lot of CSR programs, they can design it in a way that is supporting the more of innovation, working with the innovation labs, working with academia to ensure that Tanzania becomes, one of the innovation hotbeds in Africa. I think that's all I have for now, and maybe we'll discuss more as the discussion unfolds.
Thank you so much, Eliguard, for your feedback on policy making ICT in education. So I have another question for Jumanne.
Thank you.
I think we've lost Jumanne. Yeah, so this will perhaps go to Finland. We want to see in what ways do we see youth currently engaged in ICT? What are some of the current trends in ICT that youth can turn into business or employment opportunities? I think we've lost Finland as well. Between Oscar and Eliguard, do you think you can answer that question?
Can you come again? Sorry.
Okay,
So
in what ways do you see youth currently engaged in ICT? What are some current trends in ICT that youth can turn into business or employment opportunities?
Yeah, maybe if I can go for that, and then I think Eliguard can also add what I will also say. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, and of course, as the discussion is getting up, you can also see there are various ways that ICT actually provides some platforms for young people to engage and actually to invest in terms of business and the way forward. But yeah, if I can mention a few things in terms of improving service delivery, and of course, this is mainly related to the major point that I'll speak about here, which is relating to tackling issues facing the community. We've seen an increased number of service applications that have been developed by young people, which are now and are currently being used to change the ways that we were normally working. Eliguard has given an example of the way we transfer money, the way we make some payments. There have been some amazing applications that have been developed by young people in Tanzania. And you can see, for instance, this current one, which is around buying online tickets. If you want to go for a match at the National Stadium, if you want to go for a Miss Tanzania event, then you can easily buy your tickets online and those kind of things. And this has been actually developed by young people here in Tanzania. So you can see that this trend actually of improving service delivery to ensure that they are really accessible and on time is a very big platform for me to see. We have lots of other areas in service delivery in Tanzania, which I just mentioned an example of education. We also have some health service delivery sectors. We also have these industries. We have the new oil and gas and all kinds of things around. So young people still have the opportunities to develop some applications, also to come up with some ICT tools which will simplify citizens' engagement with those services, but also at the end of the day, make business out of it. So I can say around that, but also the use of mobile phones. Of course, currently, most of what we are doing is to communicate, and actually that has been the major focus. Of course, Jumanne is reminding me about the time tickets, and of course, they also had some relationship with Buni Hub. Yeah. So I was saying, like, for instance, what we are currently doing is using mobile phones just to call and text, and at some point maybe transfer some money. You can use these mobile phones to really do some other great things. And I see a lot of opportunity for young people to invest in that. Just to respond to that.
Well, thank you so much, Oscar, for your response. Jumanne, do you have anything else to add up from what Oscar has said?
Yes. So I like what Eliguard said and what Oscar's been saying. So we all have to know that ICT is just a tool. I always tell this to most of the innovators who are coming to Buni. And in order for ICT to work, it has to serve a certain purpose. And you always, so what is happening in actual time? What is the problem that we are really facing, and how can you use ICT as a tool to solve that problem? And if you find that critical area of how can you integrate ICT to solve actual problems that are facing the community, then that is where the real money is. We can speak about a lot of examples like the way M-Pesa started, the way our own giant in Tanzania, Mtambalike, is doing right now. They are solving community problem, and if you can solve community problem, you can actually start to make money out of it. ICT contribution to the national economy. We can see right now we have more than 9 telcos, mobile network operators opening in Tanzania, and they are contributing a lot to the national economy. But in terms of yours are tapping into the value chain of these big giant companies, we are doing nothing actually. Very few youths are being benefited by having these companies in Tanzania. But I think this is the right time now to encourage youth participation in the process. How can Tanzania youth come up with a reliable solution with proper policies in place to support them from the government side and to ensure these international companies are being forced in one way or the other to work with the local talent, then we can be able to promote the local innovation and local solution from Tanzania. In terms of mobile phone penetration, we are speaking about more than 70% mobile penetration in Tanzania. Now, even youth in rural areas can tap into this value chain. But again, as Oscar said, how do we build support and capacity in other cities in Tanzania to be able to have initiative like Buni, whereby you can have innovation spaces from those cities, supporting youth from those cities and building the capacity on those cities to be able to come with reliable solution facing those cities. So that will be one of the most interesting discussion. But again, this has been a very interesting discussion on my side. Yeah, that's all I have.
Well, thank you so much, Jumanne, for your feedback. Just while you're talking, I thought about something. Speaking about these innovation spaces, how many are there, as in like a total in the whole country? Because we know there are many regions here in Tanzania, many with low connectivity, many with youth that have not gone to school. How have you thought about bringing these innovation spaces in such locations also to help youth who are there to at least incubate their ideas and start businesses?
So in terms of numbers, I know in Dar es Salaam we have 3 innovation spaces, or co-creation spaces. We have Kinu, we have Niwezeshe Lab, and we have Buni. We used to have Mara Foundation, but for some reason they stopped the operation in Dar es Salaam. And in some other cities, we don't have actual innovation spaces. I know there's a place in Arusha called Twende. It's a maker space. It's not an innovation space. But we have something called Living Labs, which was part of the Tanzania ICT project in terms of creating information society in Tanzania in rural areas. So we have Living Lab. We have Living Lab in Beira. We have Living Lab in Sengerema. We have Living Lab in Ringa. Recently, they piloted one in Zanzibar. So we have very few innovation spaces, but still we have some activities on the ground to support rural areas that are not necessarily innovation spaces, but they are using ICT as a tool to empower the community.
Oh, thank you so much for that clarification. Finland, I would like to ask you something related to youth and business and entrepreneurship. So for youth who are interested in business and entrepreneurship, we know there are a growing number of opportunities like mentoring, toolkits, training programs, crowdfunding, contests, and other sources of capital available online. But it's also not a secret that many youth don't know such services are available. I remember there's an event that I went to the other day, and one young person is saying, we are youth, we have ideas, and we're looking for funders, and funders at the same time are also looking for people with ideas. So there's a huge gap in between. Neither of the party knows how to connect to the other. So I was wondering, what do you think is the best way to make sure as many youth as possible know about and can access these opportunities?
Thank you, Diana, for the questions. But the issue of having gap between the funder and the youth, perhaps sometimes I think it is in youth themselves, because we are in the world of technology. We use media, social medias, and the best way to connect us nowadays is using social medias. But we, the youth, how are we using those medias? When we go to those media, what are we doing? Instead of doing things which will connect us to potential peoples, we are doing the negativity part of it. So what I think we have to do, like we came with this idea, like we need to come and pilot something which will maybe like educating youth how we can use this media in a positive way. That's why I came out with the idea of a media company. I need to see mostly Tanzanian youth use media in positive way. Currently, when you go to those medias, you'll find we are talking, yes, politics is part of our life, but how can we use the slot that we have in advancing or creating the bridge between where we are now and where we want to go? I would like to ask those people of Buni. They have a great opportunity to make a network of youth in Tanzania. We have a lot of innovative youth. Currently, we have the one who has the social media, just like Facebook, but who knows him, who promotes him. So we need to use that opportunity. Boone created a way that can connect all youth who are innovators and see how we can promote their work. But also we need to sit down and see how our government can be part of the innovations. Because when you go to Kenya, the government is in forefront of supporting youth who are innovative. How about our government? But is the government aware of these things, and who will tell them that we can innovate things which are more important for our country? So I think with the youth, we are the one to wake up, to demand for what is right, to showcase that we know things and we are ready to bring changes in our country. There's no way that government can stand and see that you are doing amazing things and start to support them. And even those funders, supporters, those donors, they want to give support to you if we didn't demonstrate something which is more of beneficial. So the only way is for ourselves to stand to showcase what we have. And the but I will recommend that the best way is for us to start up something. Let us discuss, but come out with just like a way forward. We don't need to end up in discussing this. Yeah, that is why I think we will be connected only if we show ourselves what we will showcase what we have.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Finland. Jumanne, you have anything to add up? Oh, okay. So we noticed that there are a number of services and tools. Jumanne, you're adding up something? Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Okay, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I agree with Finland that promote our local innovation. But there's a very interesting discussion on how innovation and whether we treat innovation and what is the purpose of even having these innovation spaces. So the challenges we are having right now, the main understanding of the most African government is that innovations are for exhibitions. So you go there, you display, and everyone is like happy. This is a very interesting innovation. But when it comes to financing, when it comes to try to commercialize that innovation, everyone is running away. And that is the problem that we are facing right now. Very cool products are coming into the market. We have these interesting maker spaces. They're coming up with a lot of solutions. But when it comes to scaling out those solutions, to try to do like some sort of mass production of those solutions, it has become very challenging actually. And in terms of how can we expose our local innovators, again, there's no magic trick. As I'm saying right now, that they need to be exposed, they need to be inspired, and that is what Buni does. Because if you do something and you hide yourself somewhere, no one is going to know you. You have to showcase what you do, and you have all these resources in front of you. You have social media, you have blogs, you have different kind of platform to communicate what you do. All we need to do is try as much as possible to build their capacity to be able to showcase their innovation, like anyone else, like any place in the world, the way they do it. You don't need to have any kind of magic formula. But again, I really support the idea of having someone be able, but I don't like the idea of using the innovation only for exhibition. We should have a very clear plan on how are we going to finance this innovation and help them to commercialize this innovation so that they can be sustainable solutions. Thank you.
And thank you to Jumanne for that. So we all know there's a lot of discussion has been going on around the Sustainable Development Goals. So I think for the purpose of this discussion, it would be relevant to look at goal number 8 for decent work and economic growth and employment for all. We still find that there's challenges facing youths that are living in fragility. We mean refugees and displaced persons. So we think these groups of people have challenges accessing technology and other opportunities. What are your thoughts on this?
Maybe just because you didn't point a person, I should go for it. I think just before I respond to the question, I'll also speak something around ICT and actually accountability as a tool actually for accountability and what is it? It's also ICT as a tool for accountability was one of the things that will also lead to us looking at around the issues related to the Sustainable Development Goals and all those kind of things. So we were mostly talking about ICT from the point of technology and all those kind of things, but also we talked a little bit about the business part of it. Still, ICT can also be part of a tool for improved accountability and good governance in the community. And that's where now you'll also find issues like these marginalized groups in the communities, like the ones that you've just mentioned, having some challenges to access these opportunities to actually innovate and get involved in ensuring that they're also getting employment and all those kind of things is really a key thing. So we need to as community, but as of course as some people who are engaging ourselves in this ICT issues and also youth and the issues of business and employment, we need to see the ways that we can use ICT to diversify the reach and actually to ensure that many young people are quite accessing information and getting the right services and actually some of the things that have been entitled to them. Yeah, we have an opportunity as well. You know, people who are staying in the refugee camps. We need to see the way that we can also improve their environment so that they are also able to dwell into this world of ICT and the new technologies to ensure that they also improve. But of course, one of the key issues that I will talk when I'm referring to SDGs and young people, and especially the goal that you just mentioned, in order for things to be really working and to improve, we need to use ICT as a tool for empowering youth-led data and accountability in the communities.
Well, thank you so much, Oscar, for your feedback. Anyone else has anything to add up?
Maybe I try to add up something in relation to what Oscar has been saying. We have those challenges. Actually, those people are people who are not only the ICT part is the problem to them. We have a lot of problem in people who are living in those areas, especially asylums, camps. But I think we need to come up with the programs to reach them, because it's not that there's no way we can reach them. We can reach them and see how we can develop them, because are the ones who have real tangible things to show. For instance, currently there is one boy, he's I think 16, Ahmed, who is from Sudan, came up with an idea. He's from the digital clock, but what happened, I think everyone saw. So I think these people has a lot to show, but there is no platform for them to come up and showcase what they have. Let's see how we can reach them and give them opportunity to show what they have. On the other side, on the part of ICT, I think the government has a role to play, and we need to motivate each other, because I've been hearing some stories that in Tanzania, in previous years, there was people who came out with an idea, they were developing some good weapons, but what happened? They were caught and jailed. If we don't motivate what we have, then how can we develop? We need to think about that side too, the part of innovation in relationship to motivation of what we innovate. Yeah, and mostly I think we need to see how we can form a platform where we have a network of innovators. I would really commend the Buni to think about that. It's happening in other world. We have conferences on young innovators, but I don't think it has happened in Tanzania. Let's think about that side too. Let's think how we can connect, and because the way we meet is the way we inspire each other. There are others who has the innovative minds, but they don't have people to inspire them. They don't have people to motivate them on what they are doing. So I think we have to come up with idea on that side too. Also, I would like to say we have everything we need currently, because the world is digitalized. We need to just see it in the way we can take it as an opportunity. Media is the best opportunity. Let's see how we can engage youth. We can form a media companies. Media consultancy is the job that can pay you in town and just be among the people who are in town and have names. We don't need the drill to go down and start coding the softwares. Let's use the opportunity that is already there. We have the opportunity ready. Let's grab them and go forward. And the other side, on how we can look at technology. Every opportunity currently is happening online. Everything happening in the world is posted online. But so we need to see how we can utilize the resources we have. See how we can use the media we have in relationship to opportunities that are available online. So the Tanzania, plus Buni and other partners, let's think how we can teach our community. We have a lot to say. We have a lot to share with the community. We see things, but we don't share with the community that we have. I think that is the gap still we have. We have the gap in that is available, the way we link them to opportunities that are also available in the market. Let's see how we can utilize that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Finland. And Jumanne, what are your thoughts on the organizing a conference for innovators?
So actually, it's something we are planning to do. It's something we are planning to do early next year. We are planning to do an event called Sahara Sparks, and it's aiming to promote innovations from Tanzania, but also to promote entrepreneurs from Tanzania. We have already secured some partnership with some prominent people. We are waiting for the political heat to cool down. A lot of we are waiting. We can start to involve some of you guys so that we can organize together. But it's something we're planning to have next year. But on the question of why we didn't have it before, it's because the innovation ecosystem in Tanzania in 2014 and 2015 has been growing very fast. I used to work to Kino before starting to work with Buni, and by that time there was no any other innovation space or any innovation initiative happening in Dar es Salaam or in other cities. So right now we have a lot of players in the ecosystem. We have HDIF who are coming in to fund ideas. We have Kino. We have policymakers like COSTECH and the ministry. We have tech spaces like Buni. We have forum like TASEF. We have guys like DOT who they direct with youth. And we have guys like Restless development. So at least we are going to have a sustainable ecosystem when it comes to supporting innovation in Tanzania. Because you need all these players together before thinking about launching a big event and calling people to take part in such an event. You need to have a stable ecosystem. And that is something that we are trying to do right now. How can Buni create a stable ecosystem which involves all the players to create a conducive environment for local talent, local entrepreneurs and innovators to be able to showcase their talents, but not only to showcase their talents, to be able to nurture and grow their business into the next stage. So that is something we are looking to do. Going back to the SDG, goal number 8, I think ICT can play a major role, and not necessarily ICT to play a major role directly by using ICT as a tool to empower and support those people in underprivileged areas, but through using ICT as a tool to improve the living standard, then new opportunities can emerge to these people from underprivileged areas. I can give you a quick example. By creating a platform that allow farmers to sell their plants, their farm produce into the market in a fair way so that they can be able to make profit, then you encourage more people to take part in agriculture, which in turn, these people from underprivileged areas can also take part in agriculture because they know agriculture is profitable. So ICT can be used as a tool to impact these people, and not necessarily directly. It can be indirectly by being able to disseminate information about health issues. For example, right now we have a project on mobile health where we provide information to pregnant ladies and kids on how they can live and sustain themselves well. So disseminating information using mobile phone via SMSs, you can send information about epidemic diseases or issues like that to them via phone. So ICT has a major role to play. We just need to think innovatively and thinking outside the box. Even I'll say get rid of the box. Try to come up with a very cool, innovative idea on how we can use existing infrastructure. As I was saying initially, the mobile penetration rate in Tanzania is more than 70%. More than people have, as much as I had to say this, people have access to mobile phone more than toilets. So how can we use mobile phone to deliver value to these people at the bottom of the pyramid, the people whom we call underprivileged people? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jumanne. Well, I'm curious, how are we going to motivate youth to learn? I had an earlier discussion with Finland where we're saying youth, specifically in Tanzania, are not really so much keen on learning. however much information is put out there, they are less interested. A few of them are less interested in seeing what it's about and later on capitalizing on it or something like that. So how do you think we can motivate youth to be lifelong learners? Eliguard, Dawson. Hello?
Yes, Dan, maybe I try to respond on that question.
No, I think his speaker is on mute. Eliguard, could you unmute your speaker? Eliguard, I'm sorry, we can't hear you. Your speaker is off. We can't hear you. Yes, Eliguard, can you hear us? Okay, Finland, maybe you proceed while Eliguard sorts himself out.
Thank you, Dan. But you know, I said earlier, there is no way we can force someone to adapt things.
Finland, you're breaking off.
I think next is problem here. Can you hear me clearly now?
Now we can.
Yes.
Okay, I was saying, as we were discussing earlier, there's no one who can change someone's life just like a person. Me, I can change someone's life directly. But the best way we can use is through motivation. How do we motivate them? Is by doing things which they think they can't do them. Then through showing them that if this is possible, maybe they can change. But just like how can we change them and be be part of life learning, to have the interest of learning, that is the challenge. Maybe other people have the best way they can share. But for me, as I told you, youth, we don't need to change youth's mind. We need them to change their mind and to adapt with the changes that is in this world. But what we can do is just motivating them, giving them support in what they are doing, and maybe bringing them together. Because if we are apart, we won't do something. But if we come together, maybe we can have a strong voice and way to go forward. Yeah.
Thanks for that, Finland. Eliguard, do you have anything to add up? Unfortunately, your microphone is still an issue. Well, I would like to thank all of you, our panelists, for turning up today and contributing hugely on our topic on digital and innovative ICT solutions for Tanzania youth. We've gathered a lot of great and positive feedback. I think this is a beginning of great things, a combination of all these organizations teaming up and creating a new era of youth that are keen on learning and using technology to empower themselves in creating self-employment and businesses. We'll continue later on after the broadcast is done to receive your questions from the chat. So if you have any questions, you can send them in and we'll respond them. Otherwise, thank you so much, our viewers. Thank you so much, our panelists, and have a great day.
Thank you.